There's the Queen giving the bouquet to Doug Angel.
Gordon Pinsent read a story for us at Christmas time. Adrian Clarkson came and did our story in, I think it was in 2001. And that is us at Lansing Meadows.
Shallaway Youth Choir is getting ready to celebrate a huge accomplishment, its 25th year anniversary. The choir was founded by Susan Knight in 1992 as a cultural response to the devastation of the cod moratorium.
Boy, I can still feel it in my gut. And so in September, we put out a call for anybody who would like to come and form this new choir. We did all the auditions at Holy Heart let us do it because we didn't have any work. And I think we had 70 people to start.
In those 25 years, they've taken kids from Newfoundland and Labrador all over the world to perform, and they've been recognized as the Children's Youth Choir of the world.
Singing is a catalyst for doing many other things here in the province and in the country and around the world. Tonight, look what we have here. You know, we started with one choir and we grew to 3, and now hundreds and hundreds of kids making music together.
Richard Goss is chair of Shallaway's board, and he wears his Shallaway fish pin proudly.
There's always a big fish, there's always a little fish, and it doesn't matter if you're 5 or 55. There are times when you should be listening, there are times when you should be speaking. There's a time for you to step up and lead, there's a time for you to follow. And every single one of us is at different points during the same day sometimes, the big fish or the little fish.
During my time in Shallaway, I, as sort of the first generation of Newfoundlanders not to grow up at the cod fishery, learned what my province was, learned what my culture was. And I'm not just talking about like fishing and accordion tunes and stuff like that. Like I learned about the Indigenous population in Newfoundland. I learned about stuff that you really get taught in university courses when it comes to Newfoundland history and Newfoundland culture. I learned it in grades 6, 7, and 8, and I feel like I wouldn't be in the job I'm in right now if it wasn't for that.
Music was just my way of life for the entire 10 years that I was part of Shallaway. I never knew that a career in music was really a possibility. So I had plans to go on in engineering or sciences or maths, and it was Susan Knight who really strongly encouraged that I look to go further.
Shallaway is really a lot more than a choir. It's really a place where everyone is welcome and where everyone belongs. And every week you walked into the rehearsal room and you just felt like you belonged. And I wish I knew how they did that because it needs to be replicated.
I came from a neighborhood where it's hit or miss. Either you're going to go up or you're going to go down, depending on your own experiences. If I didn't go to Shallaway, I don't think I would have ended up in university because it wasn't something that a lot of people from where I came from did. I rely on my Shallow family still today, 5 years later.
Singing in this choir, the kids really believe that they can do anything and they have huge capacity. Then they graduate and they go to university and they live that, of course I can make things better. I can make change in my community.
During my time in Shallaway, I learned how to sing and how music is work. It was really fun, obviously, and there was a lot of excitement during the shows. But the rehearsals were a serious thing, and the homework was a serious thing. But when it came time for the show, it was unbelievable, like what was pulled off. And I think that was a lesson that I really internalized.
The Shallaway superpower that I still use today is the fish pin power. And by that I mean knowing that in every situation you can always be the leader, but that you always have something to learn as well.
During my time in Shallaway, got to do a lot of stuff for a kid. Got to be on national television, got to sing with Gord Downey and the Tragically Hip, learned about the value of cultural diversity, learned about celebrating one's own culture, and honestly, the most important thing to me was having awesome role models to look up to as a kid.
The best piece of advice I ever got was from Erkki Pokula, who was the Finnish youth conductor, an incredible man who came to do a residency with us, and we learned a ton of Finnish songs from him. What he taught us was not to sing Chickenissimo. And Chickenissimo is the volume that you sing when you don't really know the words and you're not really sure, and you sing really quietly so no one else can hear that you're making mistakes. So what he taught us is to sing boldly and make your mistakes boldly. That way you know right away you made a mistake and you can fix it and move on.
One of Shallaway's missions is the kind of education that comes from travel. The children have performed all over the world.
I went to Paris, Budapest, Hungary,
Florida to England,
Toronto, New York, Ireland,
Cuba, France, Belgium, the Netherlands,
Portugal,
France and Spain,
China,
all over Newfoundland.
I was allowed to go on my trip to Vancouver because Susan Knight said that even though my voice had changed, I went up to her and I said, hey, my voice has changed. I can't sing soprano anymore. And she still let me come and lip sync, which was very, very nice of her.
Side by side with our dreams. So during my time in Shallaway, I really developed a curiosity for other cultures and other countries. And then alongside that, I also really developed a very deep appreciation and pride in my own Newfoundland heritage and culture.
Because at the end of the day, all of these songs, no matter what language they're in, they're all about the same stuff. And when at such an early age, your mind is opened and exposed to the idea that even though we are very different, at our core, our humanity is the same. It's very hard then as you grow for the world to force your mind to close again.
You won't maybe realize how meaningful that choir is to you and what it's done to your life until you're in 30 and you're doing this dream job and you realize so much of it has to do with the experience and the confidence and the knowledge that you got from singing in a choir. If I ever have kids, I'm moving them back home and putting them in Shallaway, if only because I can give them my fish pin, which I still haven't given back.